On this day, an old couple at the foot of the mountain was having tea at home when suddenly they felt a strong vibration under their feet. The old man hurriedly took his wife to the cellar of the house, closed the door. The outside seemed to shake as if the sky was breaking up. After seeing the movement outside seemed to stop, the old man and his wife came out of the cellar. The strange thing was that his house was split in two. There was also a giant footprint on the ground. Legend has it that tens of thousands of years ago, the mountain in front of us, it was formed by 13 giant monsters. They got drunk one night and lost track of time. Later, when the sun came out, the sunlight turned them all into stone. That's why the mountain in front of us was formed. But with the over-exploitation of mankind, the legend of the mountain monster. The legend of the mountain monster was regarded as a fictional being. As a geologist, Mary always believed there was a real mountain monster. Just when the team leader told her to give up this fantasy, Mary accidentally dug up a special fossilized spine. Apparently, the owner of the bones was a huge guy, and at this point in time, the humans are building tunnels. To build the tunnels, the humans were going on a mining spree in the mountain. Just as they hit the blasting switch, there was a strange roaring sound from the cave. Sensing that something was wrong, the workers rushed outside. At that moment, the national headquarters also detected frequent earthquake alerts from the mountain. After seeing the giant footprints on the mountain, they suspected that it was the result of crustal movement, so they sent a helicopter. Mary, a geologist, was brought to the headquarters. When Mary pulled out the giant fossilized spine found on the mountain, everyone in the room was dumbfounded. Then the assistant brought even more exciting news. Someone had captured a video of what appeared to be a giant. So the state ordered Mary to go to the mountains to investigate the truth of the earthquake. They arrived at the home of the old couple at the foot of the mountain. After seeing the dilapidated house, Mary was shocked. But what surprised him even more was the footprints of the giant at the foot of the mountain. So, Mary arranged for the army to fly a helicopter to take her to the mountain to find her father. He was a retired geologist here. After telling her father the purpose of the trip, Dad told Mary the truth about the mountain monster. It turns out the legend is true, and that the earthquake down the mountain. It is likely that the mountain monster that escaped from here caused the earthquake. So the two of them packed their equipment and headed deep into the mountains. Father found in the comparison with the previous terrain. This place is obviously a bit different from 5 years ago. While they were discussing the situation, the rock behind them suddenly opened its eyes. While searching for the source of the earthquake with her father, scientist Mary, a scientist, and her father were searching for the source of the earthquake when they accidentally discovered the sleeping mountain gargoyle. The military wants to take care of the monster by force, but her father said, it is because of the destruction of the mountains by humans. The gods have reappeared. They can't shoot it. No matter how much Tom tried to stop him, Tom couldn't stop the military's decision. He could only watch as the tanks lined up against the mountain monster. At the minister's command, the rockets were fired at the mountain monster. It was like scratching an itch. The mountain monster only used a shadowless kick, and it disintegrated the whole army. Tom, who had faith, he wanted to have a conversation with the mountain monster, but then the soldier with the bad brain drove the tank and fired several shots at the monster. The enraged mountain monster. A slap would send Tom flying several meters away. This is how a great master received his lunch. Mary found the legend of the mountain monster in her father's will. In it, it was written that 100 years ago, the mountain monsters hated the existence of the church. They suspected it had something to do with the sound of the church bells, so they decided to use a helicopter to pull some giant bells to test the mountain monster. Just as the mountain monster was destroying the playground, the plane arrived in time. They surrounded the mountain monster with the big bell of 4. Immediately afterwards, they rang the bell by swinging their arms. The monster was so scared that it crouched on the ground and covered its ears. Just when the plane was about to hit the boy on the ground, but the mountain monster grabbed the plane and saved the boy, then headed deep into the jungle. This scene instantly hit the news. People's image of the mountain monster has changed into a Norwegian version of Godzilla, but from what we can see now, the positioning of the mountain monster is gradually approaching the city center. They don't know what's going to happen next. Through her father's suicide note, Mary found the man in charge of the royal palace. In the old man's conversation, they learned that the city was built on the home of a mountain monster. 300 years ago, humans hunted and killed all the mountain monsters in the land, and then built this city. And that mountain monster just now was the last of their ancestors to be imprisoned in the mountains. He came here for the purpose to find the remains of his family. So Mary prepared to drive the pickup truck, dragging the skull of the mountain monster to attract the mountain monster's attention. As he was about to destroy the city, Mary gave the bones to the mountain monster, and the golem took the skull from the ground and kept wailing. Just as the military grabbed a flashlight and prepared to petrify the mountain monster, Mary turned off the flashlight. She came to the mountain monster. She hoped the golem would leave the city and hide deep in the jungle so that he could survive. But before Mary could say anything else, the first rays of the morning sun shone on the mountain monster's body. The mountain monster was eventually killed by the sun and turned into stone.